All right, 11-5, I think this week on picks. I wanted to do better. I whiffed on some of my upsets, but it happens. And 11-5, I can take that, especially at this point in the season where sometimes things do get a little tricky. So, looking back at week 13, let's start with the Eagles and Falcons. It was amusing to see Vic do the things that he did, but really a lot of it came after the game was already pretty much decided. When you consider that obviously Atlanta was just inept on offense, and really once Philadelphia got to like 13 points, the game was over because Atlanta wasn't going to be able to mount enough scoring drives to make that deficit up. But it was cool to see Michael Vick get back out there, make plays, ran for a touchdown, had a big passing play through for a touchdown. And, that's one more weapon to add to their arsenal because, the playoffs are coming up and chances are Philly's going to be there. And if they have that extra weapon, well, keep an eye out for that because he really hasn't done much all year, but last couple weeks he's made a couple of plays. So, be interesting to see. And from the Atlanta side, I mean, it is what it is. They didn't have Matt Ryan, they didn't have Michael Turner. Realistically, they didn't really have a chance to compete in that game, and they didn't. But it still counts as a loss. It's still 6-6, and it's still looking ugly for them because we don't know when those guys are going to come back. Uh, let's see, Tampa, Carolina. Oh, this was frustrating for the Tampa side of things because Carolina was all positioned to lay a big egg and humiliate themselves further, but Josh Freeman kept throwing picks in the end zone. And you hate to see things like that because in situations like that, when you have a rookie quarterback, I would just run it every play. And if you have to kick field goals, kick field goals. But I would kind of sort of just run it every play because I don't trust the rookie quarterback. And y'all saw it today. I mean, Sunday. He threw, what, 5 interceptions, and I think 3 of them were deep in the red zone. So, gotta sometimes you gotta eat the field goals because if Tampa Bay did eat the field goals in this game, they I think would have won because Carolina scored some touchdowns off the turnovers and a lot of stuff like that. So Carolina deserved to win. They ran the ball well. They forced the turnovers, but still frustrating loss by Tampa. I think. Then again, I guess they want to stay in position to get the top 3 draft pick. Bears Rams again. The Bears win a game. It was a lot like the Browns game in the sense that even though they won, well, actually this game was a little closer than the Browns game, but even so, the fans not high on the win. I mean, after they beat the Browns 33-6, they were not really high on that win because they felt like it should have been more. And in this game, I think you say that more so because the Rams only lost by 1 score. You should be able to put up more points than 17 on the Rams. They blew a field goal opportunity with a ill-advised fake, and St. Louis is playing tough at this point of the year. I don't know exactly what the stakes are for them, but they are kind of playing tough. At the same time, Chicago really thought they were going to be a playoff team this year, and to see them continue to underachieve in pretty much every game, it's not easy for the Bears fans to swallow, I think. Colts Titans. Really, Tennessee blew some opportunities to be closer in this game, but it was really taking care of business for Indianapolis in the sense that they always seem to keep Tennessee at an arm's length. The game did not come down to some dramatic last second thing like it very easily could have. You know, Indy won the turnover battle. They mounted enough scoring drives to just keep far enough ahead of Tennessee to the point where they were never in any serious danger. Limited Chris Johnson, which is obviously very hard to do. Forced Vince Young into quite a few poor throws. But I'm looking at that. They had first and goal at the 7, or first, and then I think another point they had like second and goal at the 1, and you can't score points in those situations. there was a botched snap, there was the stupid fade route, and you guys know how much I love the fade route. And, you know, a lot of other stuff like that. So, you know, I mean, Tennessee had momentum. Tennessee had every reason to try their hardest to win. So, I think you can. I think it's impressive that Indianapolis was able to just pretty decisively take care of it. Moving along, Denver, Kansas City. You know, I stayed away from this game gambling wise because it's an Arrowhead and I want to be careful because Denver and Arrowhead, it's not good. When you look at it, you know, even when Kansas City's terrible, they beat Denver at home. So I stayed away from it. I still picked Denver, but I stayed away from it gambling wise. And well, I mean, if any team can buck a historical trend, it's this Chiefs team. So 44-13, and Denver really didn't even play that great. I mean, they had quite a few offensive turnovers. I know they got those turnovers back and then some, but still, I don't think they played to their maximum potential, and they still won by 31 points. So that tells you all you need to know about those two teams. But seriously, though, I'm not totally sold that Denver's back on track, but they have to play the Raiders again. They got to play the Chiefs again. So that's 2 wins, or it should be. I don't know, Oakland's been scrappy lately, but that should be 2 wins. That'll get them to 10 wins. I don't see how that isn't enough to get the 5th seed. So they're good. And I guess you don't know what's going to happen with San Diego, but really they look like they've got a firm grip on the division. Saints and Redskins. This was part of a really good set of early games that were wrapping up around the same time, and I got to see the end of all of them because of a Red Zone channel. And this one obviously finished last because of the overtime, and oh man. Where do you start? You know, it's unbelievable to me that Washington really should have been able to put that game away, even though they had stupid crap like the Kareem Moore interception fumble that Meacham returned for a touchdown. You know, a play like that, the game should be over. And when you're playing the Saints, if you have a play like that, the game should be over right there. But for Washington to be in the position they were is impressive. But for them to blow that game is absurd. And, you know, obviously, Shawizum has already been cut. Not surprising. He, quite frankly, deserves it. This isn't the first time he blew a potentially significant win by missing makeable field goals. And, you know, there were some bad calls. Like, it really did look like Kareem Moore was down, and he might have not even made the interception. And Mike Sellers, the fumble, I don't know about that, but still, I thought the Saints deserved to win. I watched a good portion of that game. Their defense had a hard time stopping Washington at certain points, and you know, the offense not as sharp as it often is, but I kind of thought they deserved to win. I mean, Washington was settling for field goals at a lot of points during that game, and I really thought like maybe that'll come back to bite them, and well, it did. Just a great game. I was happy to be able to see most of it, and it's hard to say exactly what to go on about that game. Raiders Steelers. Oh boy. You know, if you probably can find this on YouTube, Bruce Gradkowski, his first snap of the game for the Raiders, he fumbles a attempted throw and then falls on it, and to come back from that and throw 3 fourth quarter touchdowns, that's pretty great. Because, you know, I mean, Jamarcus Russell was so bad, Bruce Gradkowski is a significant upgrade over him. That's insane. That's insane. But it was a good game. Lewis Murphy, you're the man. I like you moving forward. I think you're going to be a solid receiver in this league. Made some big plays out there, but Pittsburgh, man. You know, that secondary I know they don't have Palomalu, but holy crap, that there was that one guy, I can't remember his name, who dropped the interception at the end that would have sealed it. One of the easiest interceptions you'll ever see, and he couldn't even get his hands on it. It hit him in the chest or something. But just a good game, and again, it's one of those games I don't quite know where to go with this because it just went back and forth in the fourth quarter. It was great to watch. Oh man, and you know, I had some upsets that week, and they didn't go through for me, but but there were some other upsets that went through, and even though I didn't pick it, I don't mind. It's fun to watch. I like upsets for the most part. They are entertaining. And, this game was in Heinz Field too, so it wasn't like the Raiders fans were able to get in there and go crazy and stuff. It was, well, in Pittsburgh. So, the Oakland fans, I know they're a little insane and maybe mentally unbalanced, but I think they're good fans and they deserve to have things like that happen to them.